You are listening to This is Oklahoma, hosted by Mike Hearn, telling stories of Oklahomans and those that have made it their home.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of This is Oklahoma podcast. Mike Hearn here, host, back with another episode. Excited to share this episode with you today. But before we do, I've got to thank our sponsors. First of all, the Oklahoma Hall of Fame. They've been a huge part of this podcast for the last few years. So the Oklahoma Hall of Fame have been sharing Oklahoma story through its people since 1927. For more information on the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, go to www.oklahomahof.com. And for daily updates, go to oklahomahof on Instagram and give them a follow. Our other sponsor today is Chickasaw Nation. Now, the Chickasaw Nation have sponsored pretty much everything in Oklahoma. They're a huge supporter of Oklahoma, and it's an honor to have their name and their brand supporting this podcast. So a huge shout out to Governor Anatobi for supporting this podcast. It really means a lot. Our third sponsor is Diffie Ford Lincoln down in El Reno. Now, this one makes me so happy because these guys are great friends of mine, play a lot of golf together. I've bought my cars from them, do most of my oil changes down there, have a cup of coffee, hang out down in El Reno. It's a good spot to go. And not only are they great friends, but they provide a great service. So for over 60 years, third generation family owned Oklahoma business down in El Reno. They're also in Bethany as well. So people in the Bethany area know the Diffies really well. But if you're looking for anything new, used, Ford, Lincoln, or whatever, I'm sure they could find anything you want. Check them out, diffieford.net, and then on Instagram at diffiefordlincoln. This episode is brought to you by the Doghouse OKC. Recently, I have been in need of some doggy daycare for my two pups, and the Doghouse have come in clutch. The team over there are incredible. They've taken care of my two golden doodles, and so it's been an honor to partner with them on the podcast and share the love. And the one thing that I do with the sponsors that I have is stuff that I use and recommend, like the Diffies with my car, Hall of Fame. They're awesome. Citizens Banks, where I bank. Chickasaw Nation, huge supporter of Oklahoma. And adding to that is the Doghouse. And so if you're in need of doggy daycare in the day or boarding overnight, they do grooming and other cool things too. But I've had a fantastic experience, and it's an honor and a privilege to share this with you too. So go to thedoghouseokc.com and follow them on Instagram at thedoghouseokc. And hopefully our pups will run into each other. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of This is Oklahoma. Mike Hearn here, host, back with another episode. We are on the patio at Jones Assembly. You'll probably hear some background noise. It's a little wet right now. We've had a little bit of rain, which is a good thing. But we're on the patio because the guys are doing sound check. Got Mr. Blaine Bailey on the podcast. Yes, excited to dive into your story. Excited to hear you play. First time playing Jones Assembly, so we'll dive into that in a little bit. Yep. But before we do, let's talk about, way back, like first memory of picking up a guitar or having music, or where does music enter your life?
Okay, so whenever I was, a kid, probably 4 or 5, 6, around that age, my dad and his family always played music, and they would form like a full band, and one of them would play bass and guitar, and then drummer, and then they just sing a bunch of cover songs, and so I kind of got drawn into that because we'd go almost every weekend to, hang with family and play music. Yeah. And so probably about 5, something like that. There's a picture of me my mom took, and it's like super bad quality, but it's from one of them, probably like a, I don't know, BlackBerry phone or something like that. But
R.I.P. to BlackBerry phones.
For real. But there's a picture of me about that age. And I would get I used to call it a fake guitar, because it was just like a mini one you can get from Walmart. And there's a video of me, and I'd always just jam with them, playing rhythm. And I think that's where I got my rhythm from, is, playing, just strumming, and got that main thing down.
Yeah. Is your mom musical too?
She loves music. She's a music lover. Yeah. So, and that comes with like all my different influences. My dad, he listened to a lot of blues and classic rock and stuff like that. My mom, she did too, but more recently, like probably when I was getting close to 9 or 10, she started liking Red Dirt music. Okay. And we had the Turnpike Troubadours that are from Tahlequah, where I'm from, and that's what kind of got us into red dirt, and then from then, you know, once you get in, then it's a pretty big scope to. There's a lot of great musicians, and it's kind of like a culture now, you know, the red dirt scene.
Yeah.
So.
Do you have brothers and sisters that play as well or not?
My sister, she can play piano a little bit. She would be a lot better if she actually wanted to. But, I mean, she can, you know, she can learn a few songs on there, and then she tries to play guitar too, because my dad gave her his guitar. And they try, but they just aren't, you know, in love with it. So
So growing up, it's no surprise to be like, for you to be here today, looking back to be like, oh, I see where I've got to my path, because music, I've grown up around it. It's natural. And then obviously you decided at some point to really give it a go. Building up kind of through that, you know, as your early years, and then you're going through school and you're going to high school, and, you know, are you in bands? Are you on stage playing at church? Are you, you know, I mean, where is it do you think I'm going to start putting, you know, getting out there and really doing this?
Okay, so it's like, it was kind of just like on a whim how I really got into playing shows and stuff. I was on Facebook one day, and I had been like writing my own songs and playing a lot of, you know, cover songs that I enjoyed. And I was on Facebook, and there was this ad for, it was like a artist spotlight, or Rising Stars is what they called it, in Muskogee. And I got put onto that. We figured out a way to get in there and get in the room, and well, I've never been as nervous as I was that first night, and it was awesome, because those musicians that were also playing, they're my really good friends now, and we've all come a long ways. But yeah, it was called the Rising Stars, and it was at the Roxy Theater in Muskogee.
Okay.
And we would do that every month. Weather permitting, we would go there once a month, and we'd all play our songs. And, that's where I really broke through getting in front of crowds, because that was a big step for me. I feel like just getting in front of people, and so from there, I start playing my own shows. You know, my 3-hour cover band shows, and for a long time, I was by myself, just playing acoustic. Like tonight, I played. For the majority of my music career, I've been playing acoustic, and I just recently, in like 2020, is whenever I started my band, and so here we are now.
Here we are, yeah.
Yes, sir.
How old were you when you started doing that, stuff in Muskogee?
I would say I was in like 8th grade, so 12 or 13.
So fairly early on then.
Oh yeah. About 10 years now I've been doing this stuff, so it's I love it, man. It's, you always learn something new, and you always get to see new places, and just meet great people as well.
Yeah, life on the road, right?
Yeah.
And Kelly was telling me you got a little one as well now. Right?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. His name's Caden. He turned 2 last month, October 15th. He turned 2.
Yeah.
And he's just he's my world, man.
That's awesome.
I love him so much, and he's done a lot of good for me, having him here, and getting to love him and show him the ways,
right.
And show him our traditions. And he's a wild one though. He's about that age now too. Yeah.
Kelly's laughing behind the camera.
For real,
yeah. Well, and it's neat that you guys get to do this together, right? And then you get to travel together, and then have the kiddo around, and then just kind of grow up in that, and chase your dream. Right?
Yeah.
Like there's still a lot of life out there and a lot of things to do, and the fact that you guys can do it together, that's special. Versus I'm sure there's some times where you got to go on your own, but the fact that you can do it together at some point is really cool.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and Kelly's just been so great through this whole process of trying to make it in music, trying to get our songs out there and stuff. We learn as we go, and we just hone in on stuff, and any opportunity we see, we try to take it, and that's what you got to do, and we we make a great team. I'm very glad that I have her.
Yeah. No, I am too, because we've been setting this podcast up through. You're busy writing songs and playing shows, and Kelly's handling everything else behind the scenes, which is it's just much needed. So I appreciate you as well. So you mentioned you've been writing songs as well. Does the writing and performing come just kind of naturally together at the time, or are you writing first while performing? Like, how does that kind of marry itself together?
Usually I just get an idea, about a song or something I'm going through in life, and then I'll write it. And I didn't start playing my original songs in front of people for a long time because I didn't feel like they were up to par with, what I wanted to put out. And so I've probably wrote well over 100 songs already, and you kind of have to do that to, get the good ones out of every once in a while. And I kind of stopped doing that. Now I put my full focus into whatever song I'm gonna write, and make sure that it's up to my standards and what I would listen to, and if what other people can relate to. And so I write my songs, and then I've been playing some new ones on this run. And I just break them out whenever I get a chance. And it's good whenever I'm playing acoustic, because then I can just play whichever ones, because even if I haven't practiced with the band, I still wrote them on acoustic guitar and play them pretty close to how I originally wrote it.
Yeah. What's your process for writing songs? You mentioned you just get an idea, but what is are you sitting down in a quiet room? What's the process?
Yeah, it's kind of changed over years. I usually nowadays I try to get alone time and lock myself in a room and just focus and try to get the best, do the best to my abilities. And but back in the day, I used to get phrases, just a phrase or something, and then come back to the house and write something down, and then try to finish it. But now I will write maybe half a song sometimes and let it sit for a couple months if I need to. And then usually whenever I come back to it, I have what it takes to finish it and make it sound good. And
what's it like? You mentioned kind of the rising stars that a lot of friends came from that time as well. You ever kind of just get in a group and write together and just kind of put your minds together, do that as well?
Before we were all like adults, and we had some time, we would do that. My buddy Ryan Beavers, I wrote a couple songs with him. He's always going to be one of my favorite musicians, and he was from the Rising Stars too. That's where I met him. And then my friend Maddie Parks, I've got to mess around and write with her. And she's just phenomenal too. She used to just play piano, and I got to see her learn how to play guitar and all that. But man, I kind of write by myself usually. I kind of have always just done that. I've never actually tried to co-write or something, like actually plan it out, like this is what we're going to do, this is where we're going to go to this room and just write. I usually go with the flow and just write whatever I feel.
What was the choice to go in 2020 to get the full band together, and then how was that kind of process of finding band members too?
I had known a lot of people in where I'm from, Tahlequah, that played music because my dad did, and family members, and it's a small town too. But I wanted to get a full band. I wanted to bring the sound up a little bit, be able to play some of the stuff that I really liked growing up, like Stevie Ray Vaughan and Jimi Hendrix, and all of those old songs.
Can you shred guitar too?
I can. I play lead guitar a lot. That's what I first learned, actually. I learned how to play licks before I played chords, which is completely backwards. But I I love that. I just love picking that guitar, and I've gotten into bluegrass later in my life. That has really helped me, flat pick style, and it's weird, man. It like fluctuates. Like you want to do full band, rock out, or you want to come back down, do acoustic, and do different bluegrass, country stuff, or whatever. And that's I got the full band, and we have put out a full album since then, and I'm proud of it. Yeah. We're really proud of it, and the guys, and we got some awesome musicians on that album as well. Hank Early from the Turnpike Troubadours, and then Johnny Mullinax, he's from Tulsa. Okay. And then Tony Spots, he's a fiddle player from Tulsa. And it was the full band journey has been awesome so far. I really like it, and we just keep getting better, every time. And you just got to put in the practice and the work, and that's all it takes, really, man. So
and so the full album, is that kind of what's on Spotify as well as some of your own songs? Most people are listening to the full album stuff.
Yeah. Okay. I got that full production album. It's called Home. It's my first full production. It's got 8 tracks on there. I have 2 albums out. One of them's acoustic. That one's called Lost City. And then got lucky enough to meet Kendall Osborne at the Closet Studios in Tulsa, and he really worked us up good and made us sound great in the studio. And it's done good for us. People really like it, and I'm really enjoying it too. I mean, every once in a while I got to go back and listen to them, like just to make sure they still sound all right. So, but
What's it been like, kind of coming up in you've been in the scene, like you said, almost 10 years now. What's it like been coming up in Oklahoma, and obviously there's no shortage of great musicians from Oklahoma, and especially from Tahlequah is not a small town, but there's a lot of small town musicians as well that have made it. And Oklahoma is great for your style of music.
I love it. I've played a lot of small bars, and we've cut our teeth playing all them cover band shows, and we did that for years, and I did that for years, playing 3 or 4 hour sets, and playing at some dive bars, and which I've always had to have my mom be with me because I'm 22, and all those years of me being underage, right? I'd always have to have her with me, and sign a contract or whatever. That was what was tough about being in Oklahoma, because Texas, they'll let you play.
Oh, really?
Yeah, okay. And they don't really care, right. About the underage, just as long as you're playing music. And Oklahoma's pretty strict about that. Okay. But so there's a lot of great venues. Yeah, she did. Yeah,
that's really cool.
She's really helped me get to where I am as well.
Yeah.
She's a great. I love my mom, and she's always had that. She always believed in me, and that makes a big difference. To have people like Kelly too believe in me, and I just keep going. That's the reason I keep going.
Yeah. Well, and just kind of chatting to Kelly a little bit, like you're both working still, right? You both have jobs, and this isn't, you're building and chasing a dream.
Yeah.
And good for you for doing that. Like you said, you've got to have people to believe in you to do it, because if you don't, it just adds stress, right? And that bleeds into your writing, bleeds into playing, and all the stuff. You got a team behind you that's like, no, and even a boss, right? A boss at work that's like, look, we know you're chasing your dream. You'll always have a job here. Go for it.
Yeah, they're very
really kind of a blessing.
Yeah, it is. We're very blessed to be where we're at, and have our flexible jobs, and because we still got to make money. We still got to fund this stuff, and that's we always believed in hard work too. And I believe if you work hard at anything, you're gonna get somewhere eventually. And so we we don't spread ourselves too thin, but we work hard and take pride in what we do. So.
Where does that kind of work ethic that comes from, that's instilled in you? And you're, like I said, you're raising Cade as well, so he's gonna grow up and see that work ethic in you. But who are the people that you grow up to see that work ethic that's instilled in you today?
My mom and my dad, my grandma, which she's 72 now and still working. She still goes to work every day, and they've just always told me and raised me like you have to work for what you want, and nothing's gonna get handed to you. Like there's just, you got to meet God halfway a lot, and I believe in that.
Yeah.
And it's really helped me, get further down the road in music, because it can be disappointing a lot. Like I said, there's so many ups and downs in the music business, and just always having that strong work ethic instilled in you, it'll help you get through some rough times.
Yeah. Talk to me a little bit. You also mentioned earlier, kind of Cade growing up, seeing your values as well, right? And then learning the lessons that you learned growing up. Tell me a little bit about kind of your background as far as you're a Cherokee, right?
Yeah.
And then just kind of how that is incorporated not only into your music, but then into your life at home as well.
Yeah, so I have a slang, like in my voice. I know some Cherokee, so I always call him Usti, that means baby, or Chidge, boy, and I try to get those words to him so he'll start to say them too, understand, have a little bit of broken Cherokee or broken English, whatever you want to call it. But and we also, I personally go out and look for like wild onions and morel mushrooms, and that's something that's been in Cherokee culture for a long time.
Okay.
Going out and hunting and finding your mushrooms and your wild onions, and just getting it fresh from the earth. And it's cool. I also deer hunt and fish, and that's all tradition. It's all native tradition, and so hopefully he ends up enjoying that stuff, but I'm never going to force him to do anything. So
I know about morel mushrooms. What's the significance to the wild onions for Cherokee?
They're just a traditional food for us. We go out there and pick them and chop them up, and usually boil them with eggs or something like that. And man, if you haven't ever tried it, you'll have to try it. Yeah, it's really good. Some people don't like it, but I mean, just like, have you ever heard of polk salad? Like that's another traditional one.
Yeah.
And I'm personally not a fan.
Not a fan?
Yeah,
right.
But yeah, man. Those wild onions are really good. My grandma's been cooking them for me since I was a baby. So yeah, they're just in my taste palette now. Like one of my favorites of all time.
Yeah. And then as far as kind of like representing that culture going on the road, you've got your hat with the band, and obviously the T-shirt. I love the T-shirt. There's these little nods, right, to your heritage as well as you're on stage, and people might not know you, or they might not, they just come to listen to your music, or maybe they've come to see someone else and they see you. You're sharing that as well, which I love.
I try to put that in music and let people know that we're still here. A lot of people that aren't from Oklahoma or Arizona, where there's reservations, they don't even think that we're still around, and I'm always going to spread who we are and our traditions, and wear the beads and wear the feather. And that's because that's who I am. That's who I want to be. So I enjoy getting to show people the authentic person, or authentic part of me that goes down from where I was born, and and it's still there. I try to, even in my songs, sometimes I'll try to put in some slang words like I was talking about.
Well, I mean, even when you're just at shows, right? Just seeing who's out there that's Cherokee Nation.
Oh yeah, that's also so good too, because we've traveled the country now, and even if there's one native there, they might think they're the only one, and then I play on stage or something, and it's always good to meet the natives from all over the country, because we're everywhere, man. We're but we only make up like 1% of the population in America now. So. But we're still here, and it's always great to meet other people from other tribes and get to talk to them and get to make them proud, because they need that voice. A lot of people want that voice, and I've been able to get in front of people and spread.
And there's a lot of like rhythm and music and involved in your culture, right, and your heritage. And same for me. I'm from Wales in the UK, and most people in Wales can sing. I cannot, but most people in Wales are known for their singing or their poetry.
Awesome.
Just a way of communicating, right, or sharing your culture and your heritage, which is you're doing this in front of people who might not even they might see you for the first time, right, or they're seeing someone from the Cherokee Nation sing for the first time, which is really special.
A lot of them see me for the first time. Everybody's been really accepting of it. That's what I like about being in this day and age, is everybody everybody loves the diversity, and there's no like racial anything like that anymore. I mean, there still is, which we see it all the time, just subtly, but it's not near as bad as it used to be, and people are a lot more accepting of our cultures and our ways and what we want to talk about. So
let's talk a little bit about I was born and raised this year. We didn't get to link up there, but obviously you were very there. You were very busy that time. You were playing a lot of different stuff. You were in the VIP 10. You played your time. Tell me a little bit about growing up, and that festival's been there a while, right? And do you have any early memories of going there, or maybe thinking I'm going to be on the stage one day? Like, how does that kind of fit into your story?
So, born and raised, I think it's coming up on its 4th year now. There used to be a festival in my hometown, Tahlequah, called Medicine Stone, and it was hosted by the Turnpike Troubadours and Jason Boland, and so it was all the same talent, the red dirt scene, and it was a great festival. That's the one that my mom took me to whenever I was really young, because she started liking that red dirt music, and I believe the first one was in like 2012 or something. So I would have been 10, and she started taking me and getting me up and watching these people, because she knew that I loved playing music, and so I went to that one for however many years, and that was always a dream to want to play there, and man, it was awesome. And so that got discontinued. They call it Diamond Stone now, and we played Diamond Stone 2 years in a row. We didn't play this year because we played Born and Raised finally, and so but man, I've got to go to Born and Raised I think every year, and it was really great to actually be able to get on stage this year and play our full band set and have people there for us too, because it's close to home as well.
It's
awesome.
Almost a home gig, right, on a huge stage in front of a bunch of people. Well, do you remember where you were when you got that phone call to say that you were playing?
I can't remember. I think. Let me see. It was way early in the year, because they book out. Almost as soon as they're done,
they're booking.
Yeah, they're booking for the next year, and so it was but it was awesome. Like, I was like, man, I'm so glad that we get to play the festival. It's one of our bigger festivals we played, and festivals are great because so many musicians are around and just walking around, and you get to meet all these different people, and just have a great time for about 3 days. And it's festivals are probably my favorite. As a fan, not as a musician. They're a little bit tough,
right?
But
I mean, that's the goal, right? You want to be on stage in front of tens of thousands of people, right? And headlining shows, or whatever it is. Like, it's to get that that nod the first time, to get out there and like you said, be backstage and walk around, see all these legendary musicians, but also get to sit on the side of the stage and watch these people and learn as well, right? For you, you get to learn from people who've been doing it for 40, 50 years.
Yeah, it's like I've gone from watching them in those crowd, you know, and then getting to see them side stage. Yeah. It's a pretty big deal. It's, you know, to me.
So, was there any kind of memories that stand out specifically from, you know, walking around or just being on stage and being there for 3 days? Do you camp out the 3 days? Were you guys there the whole time? Would you stay at home?
I think we went home. Yeah, we went home. Yeah. Because, I mean, it's just an hour drive.
Yeah.
You know, it ain't too bad. And then a couple nights we got her parents, my in-laws, they have a pop-up camper.
Nice.
Yeah, we stayed out there in that, and you know, it's a pretty good time of year. Kind of gets hot during the daytime, but cools down at night, and yeah, it wasn't a big deal to camp out. Which we've camped in tents and slept in our cars, and you know, done all that at festivals, and so yeah, we it's good to have people, you know, that will lend their camper to you, and you know that's awesome. Like I said, we have a lot of people that support us and believe in us. And,
who are your favorites to go see out there when you were there, or anyone that you wanted to run into? That, I mean, there was a pretty heavy Oklahoma crowd there too, right? Meaning, like, from the artist perspective too.
Yeah, I wanted to meet Hank Jr., but yeah, he's too famous to. He probably just comes out of his bus and then hits the stage, and then once he's done, he probably goes back in his bus. Yeah. But yeah, he's just a legend, man, and it was really awesome to see him play, because it might be, you know, you never know whenever you're gonna get to see them, because they're getting older.
Were you in the crowd or you're on the stage?
I was in the crowd. Okay. Yeah, I was getting the full experience, if you want to call it that. But yeah, we really liked Hank Jr.'s show, and then we got up front for Cole Wetzel too. He's awesome. I watched him for the first time at Medicine Stone back in like 2017 or 18, and been following him ever since. And like just like a lot of them bigger acts like Randy Rogers, and I feel like the highlight of Born and Raised was Pony Bradshaw for me. If you never heard of him, he's one of my favorites, and we got to see him from the mezzanine, the VIP mezzanine backstage, and it was awesome. You know, I didn't get to meet him though, which it sucks, but we'll meet him sometime. We'll meet him down the road. You know. Are
you going to go back to Born and Raised? Would you like to go back?
Yeah, I'd like to go back. It's always a good time, and festivals, you know, you kind of work your way up. You might play the smallest stage this year, and then you might play a bigger stage next year. I mean, that's what kind of happened to me, because 2 years ago I played the VIPs only, and then this past year they had us come back and, you know, booked us for our actual set. And I'd like to go back, and there's also a bunch of them red dirt festivals like that, like Steamboat and Mile Zero Fest. And so we're gonna try to hit them all. Okay. You know.
What's it like when you walk out on the stage like that? Like, was it physically the biggest stage you've played on as well? As far as like the actual size of the stage in front,
it was pretty close I played Windstar in Thackerville, and that stage was huge. I'm talking like 100 feet span, and
you're looking at your band, and they're like way over there.
Yeah, dude. It was a pretty big stage though, because man, that one. It's like under a huge tent, and it's probably like 50 feet span, but it's cool. I have a wireless pack that I used to wear, and then I lost a few pieces to it, and I've been trying to, you know, get it set back up and trying to order all these different pieces that I need for it, but it's always cool, like when I'm in bigger stages, because you don't have to worry about your cord length, and you can just walk, and it was cool. I got to wear my wireless pack in Thackerville, so I could, you know, walk and come up closer to the crowd, or go back to my drummer. And man, it's cool.
Do you have one thing that you do every single time you play or before you play? Anything special?
I usually sing a couple songs just to warm up my voice and my fingers, and then usually just say a prayer and thank God for being where I'm at, and then showtime usually. Just walk out there and get it done. I mean, you know, that's, you gotta kind of just go out there and do it. And, you can't really get all up in your feels or too nervous about anything because that's going to affect your performance. But yeah, like you said, you was talking about the big stage. When I played with Turnpike at Thackerville, it was like overwhelming to walk out and see 6,000 people because I've never seen that many in one room and had to play to them. But we did a good job, and it was awesome.
That's the goal, right? You want to keep doing that. And we're definitely at Jones Assembly today, great venue, open for American Aquarium. Is anyone else on the roster, or is it just you two?
It's just us two.
Just you two?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you get hooked up with American Aquarium to open for these guys at Jones?
So we're with WME, the booking agency, and I believe they are too. Okay. And so we got linked up between our agents, and which it's awesome because I've been watching American Aquarium for most of my life, or I seen them first at Medicine Stone as well, and then from then on, me and my mom have just been a huge fan of them, and then to be out here getting to play alongside of them is really means something to me, man.
Are you just playing for them tonight, or are you following them around a little bit?
So tonight's the last show of the run. We played with them for the past 6 nights. We started in Boise, Idaho.
Okay.
Then we hit Bozeman, Montana, Salt Lake City, Utah, Wichita, Kansas, Fort Worth last night, and then tonight we're in OKC.
Wichita, Kansas, down to Fort Worth and back.
Yeah, we kind of skipped over,
right?
Yeah.
What are you playing Fort Worth?
Ridgely Theater.
Okay.
It was a great venue, man. Didn't even know about it. I played in Dallas and Fort Worth a few times. Played at Kessler Theater and then Magnolia Motor Lounge, and but Ridgely, it was just a great venue.
Okay.
That's what I like about being with BJ, because it seems like he's getting like the really nice venues, the listening rooms, and his fan base is great too, because they're there to hear the music, and they're to listen, and not just to have a good time or whatever. So, but it's been a great run, man. Been very, very awesome, and they're great. They're all great guys, and it goes a long way, man.
What do we have to look forward to towards the end of the year and into next year? What's on the roster at the moment, on the schedule, and maybe plans for goals in future, and see what's coming? We're
kind of taking it easy. We've been doing these week tours and for the past few months, so we're taking it easy. And then in January we're going to be playing at Mile Zero Fest in Key West, so down in the Florida Keys. And then from that then on, I'm kind of just seeing what opportunities will come up and what we can take, and plan out the year accordingly to what'll work out for us. And so we're gonna take it easy for about a month, but we'll get back after it, and I'll
enjoy the holidays with family.
For sure. Thanksgiving and Christmas. Gotta be home for that.
Gotta be home for that. Mom will be mad at you.
I know, Thanksgiving. Right? I'll be mad at myself.
You have any? We're coming up on Thanksgiving. You have any Thanksgiving favorites? You good in the kitchen or not?
I like. I'm all right. I can cook, but I usually leave like the huge dinners to my mom.
That's fair.
But I like
less risky.
My favorite is my mom's potato salad.
Okay.
And I love deviled eggs too, and I like a juicy turkey. I can't stand whenever it's like just so dry. You got to take a drink of water with it every time. But I just those are my favorites. Okay. I like ham too, if it's cooked right. If it's not like super dry. But potato salad, deviled eggs. I like mustard. Mustard's one of my favorite condiments, and my mom, she'd fill that potato salad up with mustard and pickles. And, dude, I'm getting hungry thinking about that. So, heck yeah.
What's your go-to dessert for Thanksgiving that you gotta have?
Let me think. I'm not a huge dessert guy, but I usually have cheesecake if they got that, which it ain't like a traditional Thanksgiving, but we usually get a cheesecake or something. I don't really like all the what are those the sweet potato.
Sweet potato
marshmallows.
Pie, pecan pie and pumpkin pie and all that stuff.
Yeah,
I'm not a huge fan.
Me neither, man.
Yeah.
So we kind of just gotta. Nobody really likes that in my family, pumpkin pie or nothing like that. So we're usually pretty good with cheesecake or whatever, whatever someone wants to bring. Like one of them,
I could do with the cheesecake right now. Sat here in the patio at Jones waiting for your show, dominating cheesecake's probably not going to do your voice any good before you go on. After it might, but right now it's probably not the best thing. Yeah,
they say like dairy will coat your throat and mess it up. I've always got told that by vocal coaches or people that think they know how to sing or whatever. I was going to one for about a month. I kind of stopped going, but it was in Tulsa. What was it called? I can't remember. Yeah, but they did. I mean, they helped me out a lot because they knew that I had been singing for a long time already, so they kind of just were picking out what I needed to improve on, and that's exactly what I wanted them to do.
Right.
And I'll probably end up going back because it's definitely not going to hurt me, to get lessons, and which that was my first time ever getting lessons in music. Yeah. So it was a different experience, but I believe it really helped.
Okay.
Instead of just being like closed-minded, like I know it all. You're not going to be like that. So.
Yeah. So you're going on 8 o'clock tonight. How many songs? How long's the set?
I play 40 minutes.
40 minutes. Okay.
I usually try to play about 7 songs. Okay. As many as I can fit in there without going over.
Do you change the set up much, or do you kind of have you like these last 6 shows you played? Do you kind of keep the set the same, or change them up?
I change them up sometimes. Yeah. Depends on like who I'm playing with, who I'm opening for, and where we're playing. Yeah. But this run, I actually just have got a set that I've been playing the whole run, and it's been helping me. BJ's really helped me to like talk more to the crowd and
engage a little bit.
Yeah, engage with them, and it's all practice. So these past few nights I've been getting better and better each night at talking and not being nervous, and just playing, and kind of has that that base to it now, like that where I can just go back to it, and because I have like 4 or 5 sets and I'll switch them around, but I knew I needed to write a really good acoustic set, and so I did before the show in Boise, and I've been playing that one, and people have been enjoying it. Good. So I got some new songs I've been playing on it, and people seem to like them. So,
all right. Well, I'm excited to see you, man. I appreciate you taking some time out before your show, and before you're getting in the zone. You're going on in about a little bit over an hour, and excited to see it. But for people listening, where can they find you? How can they find you? What's the best place to listen? You buy merch, support you. Yeah,
I'm on every social media: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all those. I'm on every streaming platform. Probably the best place to find me would be Spotify or Apple Music. Yeah. But I have a website as well. It's just blainebailey.com, and we have all of our merch on there, and all of our upcoming shows, and all of our. We just recently got vinyls for the new album too, so we've been able to give those people that I always like vinyls. I collect them, so it was really cool to have my own on there, get it on vinyl. Brilliant. It's awesome. But you can find us, like I said, Spotify, Apple Music, Facebook, Instagram, all those, and just under Blaine Bailey.
Okay, I'll put the link to that in the description. People can go check it out.
Awesome.
And appreciate your time, man. Thanks for being on the podcast. And look forward to watching you. Look forward to seeing you, you grow and get successful, and be back on, the big stage of Born and Raised and a few other shows. And can't wait to see you tonight. So thanks for being on the podcast.
All right, thank you, man.
For people listening, we will catch you next episode. Cheers. Hope you guys enjoyed that great episode. Thank you so much for listening. As always, huge shout out to our sponsors, the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, sharing Oklahoma story through its people since 1927. For more information on the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, go to www.oklahomahof.com and follow them on Instagram for daily updates at OklahomaHOF. Our other sponsor, the Chickasaw Nation, amazing sponsor. They do amazing things for the state, and they're always sponsoring something in Oklahoma. They're a huge supporter of Oklahoma, and without their support, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. And our third sponsor is Diffie Ford Lincoln down in El Reno. Now, this one makes me so happy because these guys are great friends of mine, play a lot of golf together. I've bought my cars from them, do most of my oil changes down there, have a cup of coffee, hang out down in El Reno. It's a good spot to go. And not only are they great friends, but they provide a great service. So for over 60 years, third generation family owned Oklahoma business down in El Reno. They're also in Bethany as well. So people in the Bethany area know the Diffies really well. But if you're looking for anything new, used, Ford, Lincoln, or whatever, I'm sure they could find anything you want. Check them out, diffieford.net, and then on Instagram at diffiefordlincoln. This episode is brought to you by the Doghouse OKC. Recently, I have been in need of some doggy daycare for my 2 pups, and the Doghouse have come in clutch. The team over there are incredible. They've taken care of my 2 golden doodles, and so it's been an honor to partner with them on the podcast and share the love. And the one thing that I do with the sponsors that I have is stuff that I use and recommend, like the Diffies with my car, Hall of Fame. They're awesome. Citizens Banks, where I bank. Chickasaw Nation, huge supporter of Oklahoma. And adding to that is the Doghouse. And so if you're in need of doggy daycare in the day or boarding overnight, they do grooming and other cool things too. But I've had a fantastic experience, and it's an honor and a privilege to share this with you too. So go to thedogHouseOKC.com and follow them on Instagram at thedogHouseOKC. And hopefully our pups will run into each other.
Thank you for listening. We are inspired by those around us and hope that you are too. Make sure you subscribe to this podcast on your favorite podcast platform and leave us a review so we can keep telling your stories. For more great Oklahoma content, follow This Is Oklahoma on Facebook and Instagram.